Hello, and thanks for dropping in. I have been to the pool room where I found this drive with no circuit board, which leads me to believe that the drive is good and the circuit board was bad. Do I know this for sure? No, not at all. But we'll find out. So I will turn off the drive, which I've done. Then clear the space to connect this drive to the other. One little connector at a time. And if you're ever wondering, on these three connectors, there is kind of a witness mark thing, in that there's a little lip on the connectors, and the lip goes in. Alright, so we're connected. If I turn this on, this should come on, and it did. Alright, so now, if I can get my test discussed here, which I can, I can just see if I'm correct in my assessment that this disk drive mechanism is okay. Of course, before I send it away, I should clean the head anyway. But it's been a long time since I've tinkered in there, and that is what I seem to remember that I would have done if I had a drive that was working but a bad circuit board. I wasn't so good at documenting back then. But it does seem, by the head movements and such, that it's okay. And if that is the case, it is time to see about reassembling and saying, we have something that will work, we have something that is fine. I still have to put I put the top of theirs on mine before. It was a very rushed operation, but very thorough operation. So this seems to be fine, but we'll see in a moment if it's fine. One thing to note is, as they, made these things and adapted, and the boards got longer and the boards got shorter, this drive here, it had the screws for the longboard, or it had the tangs for the longboard, but then had the other ones added with screws, because I guess they probably had who knows how many of these things made, and then they came up with a shorter board that of course saved money, so they had to make it so that they could mount properly. But they still had these ones were still here. Now eventually, of course, those tangs are no longer there, because once they would have done another batch, they would have said, no, move them back. And then of course eventually they moved back even further. So this does seem to be working. It does seem to be happy. And even though it is not the turn down neutronics thing, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So it's reading. It's doing its magic. it has passed the performance test. Excuse me. So that is good. I wonder if what I might do before moving on is I might, some of you may remember that I modified the performance test. And what I did was I made it this bit flashing, or this thing is flashing. What is that? Oh, it loaded. You know what I think? There we go. Performance. What I think I'm going to do before I go any further with formatting this drive, because I know it is working, I think it is time to have a close-up look at the head. Ooh. These glasses are so crazy. Yeah, I see a little schmutz on there. So I think I will clean the head, let it dry, and then torment it. And then see about reassembling, because I do see some schmutz on here. So we put it on, and mostly I roll it. But I also do a little back and forth. And it's rare that you actually can see anything on here, because of course, how could anything get there? But things happen. And it's rare that the Q-tip will show any, oh hello Penny, any actual dirt. But it happens. What you doing, Penny? So just in, I'm going to have a really close-up look at the Q-tip. And of course, do I see anything there? No. When I look in here, certainly I don't see anything left. There was some sort of felt on there. But it's okay now. So I can toss that up there so I know to get rid of it. I will put the lid on the alcohol. And I'm not sure how long I should leave this. So I won't. Anyway, what this does, performance test, is the device not present. Of course it's not present. If you do not turn it on, the device is not present. Anyway, what this will do is it will run through the performance test, and when it gets to the where it goes the head back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, it'll keep doing that. So it does extra tormenting of the drive. It does. But to me, it does seem to, like for drives that haven't been used for a while, it does sort of loosen them up some. So I think it's a good thing. And how did I do that? Well, it was kind of in the spirit of the old days, where you go in and look at somebody's program and try and figure out what they did and how you can maybe adapt it a little bit. think maybe all it took was a go-to. I see a little mark on these glasses. Not that it seems to make much difference. Oh yeah, that's better. These really are. I don't know if you can see them. I can see now. Actually, when I look up the others, there's two iPhones looking at me. They really are for close-up work. Although the iPhone on the left is more in focus than the one on the right. But right there, that's about as close, and I can just see every little pore and every little thing on my hand. Oh, a little scratch. Oh dear. Not a scratch, just a little skin coming off. Anyway, enough. These would be crazy to work with. Now, we're almost getting to where it should torment the head. And if it torments the head, and it's all good, then I imagine what I will do is take this drive out of here and begin to reassemble the other drive, circuit board, all the stuff, because it may be tomorrow that I see these people again, at which point I just need to swap the top and say, hope you had a good time. Remember, these people that drive wasn't working, I let them another drive, then that drive started to go a little wonky, to which I said, it's the head. The old discs can do this. Now, how's this going? There we go. There we go. Back and forth. And we'll keep doing this, and if it's not going to, it's writing to track 35, writing to track 1, back and forth it goes. Now, it normally only does this, once or twice. It now, I think, if I remember rightly, it just keeps doing it so that I can really exercise the drive. Anyway, they were in touch and things were not working so well, and I did say, you got to clean the head, which of course is what I thought all along their other drive needed, which is not the case. So I believe what they ended up using after they watched one of the videos that I actually made of their machine and their drive and such, is they used an alcohol wipe from a first aid kit and did the head, and apparently everything was going well. And I did say, if things start doing weird things again, just do that again. Because even, just sitting around for 30 years, there is microscopic dirt, maybe even a titch of mold, depending on the circumstances. Not that that means they were kept in a bad spot. It's just things happen. Things happen. So this does seem to be doing okay. It does. Back and forth. I always thought I could just tell them, we'll put the top back on the drive with the one that's working, and we'll just say, good, that's fine, leave it at that. But this is okay. So back and forth and back and forth. It does pause if it writes, and it writes, and it reads, and it reads, and then it thinks, and it writes, and it writes, and it reads, and it reads. So, anyway, I do believe we have tormented this disk drive long enough. I could leave it here for hours and make sure it doesn't fail, but I think it's all good. The one thing I suppose I should do, just as I press stop, and maybe I will close 15, maybe that will, there, shut everything off. And I'll take this disk out, because I did notice, before I cleaned the head, that my 1541 test disk was reading funny in here. once again with this disc, I don't know if you can see this, but it's getting kind of worn out. Especially on the directory track, there is, I'm not sure, actually in other places too. If you look at the bottom, because of course the head is on the bottom, there are lines there. There are. All right. Well, I think we have a good donor here. So it is time to begin the reassembly process. But I think, once again, I need a little break. I need to gather myself and return things to the state that they were. This drive has got to come out. That drive's got to go back together. Got to get it done. Got to get it done. So, thanks for coming. What's this? This is an envelope of bad or other discs that came from the discs that they dropped off. All right. Enough. I will start to reassemble in a bit. Bye for now.